Also, I've noticed text messages, random text
all the
messages,
time.
all the time. And, guilty, guilty. My son's 12. We gave him a phone, but no apps, like no social media, nothing. Um, and he gets these random text messages. And then I took on that role. I was just talking back. They're like, yeah. They were just talking about, who's your dad? Who's your mom? Just, it's this person. And then my husband picked up and called. That person never answered the phone,
hmm
but it was like a 66 something number.
hmm hmm
How do they get these? I mean, where do they get this information from? It's
I
these
don't know.
random people that I even get text
Yeah,
messages like that.
it's the
It's
same
very
place.
scary.
They're getting it from the same place they're getting my phone number because they're doing it to me, and so I just block it. So
Hmm.
you can't set your kid's phone up where basically any number that's not in their contacts goes into like a junk
Where do you
folder.
do that?
If it's an iPhone, there's a setting
Hmm.
under the phone setting in the settings to do that. So it'll basically, and I did it for a while, but then eventually you miss a call, right? Like, and you
Yeah.
don't even know about it. It just randomly, it just goes in there without you even knowing. So I recommend if a parent, now again, I said, as I said earlier, I don't think you should give your child a smartphone,
Yeah.
but the smartphone does give you that ability. You might be
Yeah.
able to set that up with through. I'm not sure about like flip phones or anything like that. You could always. There's also other options. So like Pinwheel makes a phone has all the parental stuff built in. You can really dial in like how you want, who can call your kid or whatever. And then you have Bark also makes a phone. There are some people making phones that are for kids. So there are some options there. But I would say, yeah, I would definitely turn that feature on. And today, like we were talking to the 4th through 6th graders, and I said, we're talking about who you allow in your digital world, and the rule is you only let people in your digital. You treat your digital world like your home.
Hmm.
The same rules apply. So when someone knocks on your door, you look to see who it is. You make a very simple decision: is this person okay to come into my home?
Mm.
And who are the two groups of people? Friends and family. So that is the same rule for your digital world. So if somebody wants to follow you on social media or play with games or message you, we only let them in if they'd be a person you let in your home. If it's not, it's a block. So if you get those text messages, all these kids do,
Hmm.
don't don't entertain it. You just block them,
They're so
and don't
scary.
even open the door because yeah, what you said exactly. They engage you. They want you to talk,
Hmm.
and then before you know it,
Yeah, you're sending them money.
you're sending them money.
It's ridiculous. As a crisis negotiator and a sergeant, have you ever came face to face with a predator?
Yeah, more than once.
How was that experience? As a
Uh,
parent, as a human being,
yeah, it's tough. I had a parent actually. I arrested a parent who was abusing his daughters,
sexually abusing
sexually abusing his daughters.
daughters.
Daughters, yeah. So two girls at an intermediate school. So one was 6th grade, one with 8th grade, and the 8th grader was kind of serially being abused every night by dad.
Oh my
But
goodness.
she didn't want to tell anybody because she didn't want him to abuse her little sister. And then finally he started abusing little sister, and then she decided I need to tell somebody.
Oh my
And so
goodness.
she came in one day and told me, and then we working with our sex crimes investigators, brought the dad in and arrested him. So that was rough because mom was out of the picture, and I think they had an older sister, and I don't know. I hope the older sister was able to take them because they
Hmm.
ended up going to foster care,
Oh
and who
man.
knows what happens after that with them. But
Yeah, that's true.
it's just destroys that family and it's destroying those little girls. But anyway, obviously a safer place than where they were. But we had a guy who on the surface. So what's interesting is a lot of times the people who are doing this put themselves in positions of trust. A coach. I mean, it's really horrible because
Yeah.
you look at your kid's coach and you're like, oh, look at this person who's volunteering, helping my kid, and 99.99% of them, they're doing that. Like they're a person who loves working with kids. They want to
Hmm.
help develop your child into being a better
Yeah.
human being, and it's awesome, right? Like your youth pastor, whatever. Like these are the people that you should trust, but
Should.
But occasionally, you have somebody who kind of works their way in, and they use those positions of trust to exploit children. So this guy was a baseball coach,
Oh
and
my goodness.
he online he was a very cute, like 17-year-old girl, and he would he friended all the boys on his team, all the high school boys on his team, and he also did like travel baseball, did all like year round stuff. So all the boys that he worked with, he was this girl online, and he would say, "Hey, can we be friends online? You're so cute." And he basically would manipulate these boys into sending him nude images. And then he'd also victimize the boys of the other teams that they would play. So there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of victims. I don't know. We had to stop looking for victims, and we hit about 250.
My
We
goodness.
literally did not have enough investigators to go out and talk to all the victims. So, and really what it boiled down to, and it's interesting it took so long, but finally a kid gets this message from this girl, and he takes it to mom and dad, and he says, "This person I don't know is sending me a nude image and asking for one." And then they walk it into the police department, and that's how all this unravels. But this has been going on for years.
My goodness.
So think about those hundreds of boys who are getting these, never told mom and dad. Mom and dad had no idea what was going on, which is a common denominator in most of my stories. Parent didn't know what's going on. And then finally a kid, did finally tell a parent, and that's how we were able to stop them. The average predator will victimize 200 to 300 people in their lifetime. And actually, if it's online, it's going to be much higher than that. So, yeah, he had a wife and 2 kids.
No way.
Yeah, kids were like in middle school or elementary school. So
That's sick.
we arrested him, put him in Orange County Jail. His wife, that night, I think it was the night he was booked in, or maybe the next night. She walked in with the divorce papers.
I think they should question the kids too.
Out of there. Oh, probably. But he was everybody's like, oh, such a great guy. And, the stories that you hear,
Yeah.
like, how
Yeah.
could this ever happen?
Build trust. Very
Yeah.
charming.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Probably a psychopath.
Yeah. And also, one thing I talked to about with another therapist is these behaviors. It could be learned behavior as well. A lot of these,
Absolutely.
pedophiles, predators in general,
Or
they've
abuse.
had abuse. Yeah, they've had these types of things done to them. So
Mhm.
at such a young age, like this grooming.
Yeah. Somebody traumatized them, uh, sexually assaulted them,
Mhm.
basically broke
Yeah.
them.
Where it's a behavior now.
And now it's, yeah. So there's something that is in there. It's broken and can't really well be fixed. So one of the things I did in Rochester on Margarita was about once a year I'd go around and visit all the 290 registrants, the sex registrants in the city,
Mhm.
and most of them were older guys off probation.
Mm.
We had a couple probationers, not many,